Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Tuesday. How's everybody doing out there? If you're with me either in Discord or on YouTube chat, so go ahead and say what's up here. Let's see here. We got Rui, One Man Wolfpack, Kodak, Trader Page, Justice, G-Lines, Jiva, Sam, Mike, Karim, Shane, Mitch, Christian, Boom, Richard, Jim, Trader Mark, Discount, good old Jimmy Boy. Good morning, everybody. We got Ricky, Midland, Papa Bull, GZO. Hey, everybody. How we all doing? Jonathan, Rush, Otter. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Wow, it's like Thursday, though, because tomorrow's like Friday, because it's a short week this week. So I am pumped. I'm excited. It's a very short week. We get a nice holiday on Thursday. Here in the U.S., we get Thanksgiving. And then Friday is going to be a half day, but I'm not going to be here trading it. I'm going to be enjoying the time away from the markets. It's going to be a low liquid environment, so mainly just not a great setup, not a great trade. So happen to be counting that day out there. So good morning, Tradegator. Morning, David. Welcome, welcome. So no trades for me yet here, obviously. Zero P&L. No trades yet. We do have data coming out today. Unlike yesterday, we do have data. We have at 8:30, we have the Canadian CPI that's coming out. We also have the Canadian October New Housing Price Index. That's the NHPI, New Housing Price Index. That's for Canada. But for U.S. data, we also have a couple things coming out at 8:30. We have the Philly Fed Non-Manufacturing Business Outlook Survey and the October Chicago Fed National Activity Index. Good morning, Fister. Good morning, Futures. So yeah, the market is fading a little bit here. We do have an order block that we are looking to encroach onto here, which is conveniently down where yesterday's point of control is resting, kind of the midpoint of that block there. So if we do kind of auction down below that, that would be kind of the stopgap between that bullish order block and then obviously resting liquidity that we're going to have down there at around 16,000 or so, somewhere in that area. Let's just bring this down to around 16,000 there. Yeah, so we're going to have some resting liquidity that's below there at 16,000. So we just have to wonder if this bullish order block will stand here. We do have an inefficiency right now that we're kind of interacting with in that order block, which is from here to here. That's kind of where we're painting around right now. So we are kind of in that inefficiency zone. Is anybody in a position here? I am curious because we are just kind of selling off tremendously. Oh, morning memo. Thank you. You reminded me. Thank you there, Redberg. Thank you. Yeah, we got a long one today. Go ahead and get the rest of it here. Thank you. And we do have those new E-mini futures levels. Get these dropped in there for you. Do you guys see how well the memo did yesterday? We nailed almost every single price target that we had there. It was insane. All right, there we go. Morning memo is posted for everybody there in Clubhouse. Morning Mobashir. All right, morning memo has been posted. There's the link. But yeah, we are kind of selling off here. I do want to see if we do actually make it down to that bullish order block by the time that data comes out at 8:30. Good morning, Alvin. Let's kick off the party here. If you guys are new here, we want to slam that thumbs up button. We are looking for 105 likes, 105 likes today. And then if we get that, we will stream into the open. And you guys have until about 9:15 to hit that benchmark. And I think we got some ground to cover here. We are sitting right now at 32. So you guys could do this. I mean, this is going to be piece of cake for you guys. 105 is the benchmark today. Keep in mind, when we do get to 2,000 subscribers here on the YouTube channel, we will be giving away a Topstep Combine account. Not a reset, not a coupon, but a full-blown Topstep Combine account that you can pass and then start getting funded and get some withdrawals from that. Remember the good old days of 80 likes? Yeah, we're at 105 now is the benchmark for this holiday week. We are still selling off here. We also have the rest of the data that's going to be coming out today. Redbook retail sales are coming out at 8:55. although we haven't really seen that move the market all that much. We have a 10-year tips auction today at 1 p.m. We have the existing home sales for October out at 10. So that's going to be the data that's going to be moving the market today. FOMC minutes are also out today. The November FOMC meeting minutes are going to be out today at 2 p.m. Although I don't expect that to move the market all that much, simply because we know what happened during the meeting. He did the Q&A. There's not really going to be any surprises. I'd be shocked if we actually move on the FOMC meeting minutes, unless there's something that wasn't disclosed during the Q&A session or the public statement. I'd be pretty shocked. I don't think there were any dissenters in it. I think it was a unanimous decision. So I don't think that we're going to see any surprises there in the FOMC meeting minutes. What is XFA? Is XFA a live account after passing the combine? Yeah, XFA stands for Express Funded Account. That is the account that you can take withdrawals from. So they have a XFA. So you go from a combine, which is named after like the NFL combine. It's a test, and that's where you prove that you can actually trade. We are trading lower here, by the way. Looking at the components, Tesla, Nvidia, Meta, Apple is all kind of trading down here. SPY is rolling over just a touch. We have a lot of room to the downside here. So I would really like to see this blow through this inefficiency and then touch into that bullish order block. And then potentially we can judge on taking a long if we get down there. Data's out in 20 minutes here. But yeah, Combine is named after the NFL Combine, where they see recruits that are proving their stuff to get drafted. Same thing kind of goes for the Topstep Combine. You kind of prove your worth as a trader to see if you are worthy of being funded. If you hit that benchmark target on the 150K, it's $9,000 in profit. You can take as long as you want. You can take 2 months, 2 years, 2 weeks, 2 days. The minimum amount of time that you can pass it in is in 2 days. I got squawks going off in my ears right now. Minimum amount of time you can pass it is in 2 days. Morning, Blue Sky. And so you can pass it in 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, whatever, however long it takes you. And then once you pass, you get into the XFA, and that is the Express Funded account, and that's the one that you can take withdrawals from. So we are sending it lower here. This is just barreling to the downside here. Trying to see if we have any kind of components that are really pushing this down, and I'm just not seeing all that much. Would you say there's another bullish order block at 893 and another inefficiency above that? I'm guessing you're saying right around, let's see, 893. That's going to be way down here. This guy down here, I'm guessing. Somewhere in there. Yeah, that is definitely another bullish order block. I could draw that in too. Got to get to the other one first, but yep, that is correct. Right along there, and we'll change that to boop right there. Going to start looking around 15 to see if we start to bounce. Yeah, the top of that order block is at 19, so I would like to see that as well. It is kind of getting sold off here, but surprisingly, the cumulative volume delta is still 6,100 in the positive here on the NQ. Good morning, Larry. Loving the short I'm in, but preparing to exit. What's your entry there, Otter? Carlo asks, if you get a 50K account with Topstep and make, let's say, 1K a day within 3 days, you'll be funded already, or do you wait the entire month for it to be over? Yeah, you get funded in 3 days. Yeah, you can get funded in 3 days. The minimum amount of time is 2 days. You cannot get funded quicker than 2 days. So if the target is $3,000, the most you can make in one single day is $1,500. And that's just for the combine. You can make unlimited amounts of money in the XFA. Which trading platform do I use? I use NinjaTrader. Looks like that. I am using NinjaTrader. That's my favorite. Holy cow, man. Insane. I mean, trading's hard. This is why I have this warning up here. 90% of day traders do lose when they trade. It's very difficult to trade. It's not easy. I've been at this for a long, long time. It is not easy. And by the way, you can trade 3 XFAs at one single time if you'd like. You can have 3 XFAs at any given time. And that's what I have. I have 3 150K XFAs with Topstep right now. But yeah, it's the best funding company out there by, it's There's no competition. It's not even close. They're the best ones out there. Yeah, I see that. They're Celsius lover. I love your new name. But yeah, they are the best funding company out there because their rules are the best. They also have a maximum daily loss limit where you can lose a certain portion in a day, and after you hit that certain maximum daily loss limit, they cut you off for the day, which is great if you're having trouble with discipline and you can't blow the account in one single day. Good morning, Sarah. Requested a small payout from Topstep. Hopefully it will arrive by Friday. Congratulations there. Well done, taking payouts. The activation fee is a lifetime one payment, or every account do I need to pay money? It's one lifetime fee per account. So if you're getting 3 accounts, you got to pay 3 lifetime fees. But that's it. It's not monthly. It's one lifetime fee. And you could trade that account as little or as much as you want to. They do have a trailing drawdown, right? Yeah, but it's end of day. It's not interposition. These other funding companies do it so that, let's just say that you're in a position here. I'll show you on the Ninja Trader. Let's just say that you were long down here and you're up in the profit, and then it comes back down, and then you close flat. So you didn't make money, you didn't lose money. You make $0, you lose $0. It's a flat position. So you went in the profit and it came back down, you're at $0. If you're trading that on Topstep, well, there's no penalty for that. But if you're trading on one of these other funding companies that has an interposition trailing drawdown, whatever profit you made on that, whatever profit was unrealized, they count that against your trailing drawdown now, which is absolutely ridiculous. So stupid. Morning, DK. Yeah, so the trailing drawdown is end of day. So at the end of the day, they look at your balance and then they trail your drawdown up. But like on the 150K account that I trade, it stops trailing once you make $4,500 in the account. So think about it. If you have the account at $157,000 and you lose the maximum daily loss, $3,000, you go down to 154. You lose again, another $3,000 the next day. You got it at 151. You still haven't blown the account. In Topstep, option selling is possible. No, you cannot trade options. It's futures only. Morning, Amato. Yeah, futures only. Futures only, which is great. I mean, futures are one of the best products that you can trade out there. I've traded every single product under the sun, and out of every product, I've always said it throughout my entirety of my career, futures is the most pure trade out there. It's the most consistent. Anybody who tells you that there's no consistency in trading the indices is a fool. Absolute moron. It's one of the best products to trade out there. It's what, when you hear about people who used to trade in the pits, those were futures traders for the most part. I mean, there's futures pits, there's other commodities pits and things of that, but there's a large number of people who have and still have success trading futures. Why X platform only have a few pairs? I'm not sure. My rule to taking payouts for trading is take them and run. Good morning, X4M. If you have to explain it to a 5-year-old, what's the difference between futures and options? Well, options are derivatives of underlying. Futures are, you're betting on where the future is going to be when this contract closes, where the future of the indices are going to be. It's completely different. I mean, it's entirely different. Options, they have an expiry. I mean, futures have an expiry, but you can see these are expiring in December. Oh, this screen right here. These contracts expire in December, and we're kind of, the trade is kind of betting on what the NASDAQ is going to be trading. The NASDAQ cash market is going to be trading when this contract closes. It's a futures contract. You're betting on what the future is going to be. Options, you can have expiries that are dailies for 0 DTE. You can have weekly contracts, monthly contracts. It all changes. It all varies. But it's a shorter term usually. I mean, obviously you can buy an options contract that expires on the same day as this futures contract, but there's going to be very low liquidity. There's a lot of people who are trading these December contracts in both the S&P E-mini and the NQ E-mini. So it's completely different. It's entirely different. What sort of trading experience do most subs watching the stream? I'm on day 14. Only 3,636 days till I'm hopefully up to Ripsell. Carlos says, I don't think anyone will fund you to sell options. LO, that's some wild trading there. Really need to know what you're doing, especially hedging positions. Break out the Black Scholes. It's what the people want. Yeah, I don't even think that they use Black Scholes as a pricing model anymore. I really don't think they do that. I mean, maybe there's some desks out there that do, but they're probably not catching any kind of liquidity. Aren't options more volatile than futures in a way? I mean, options are extremely volatile. It's very difficult. We traded options here in Clubhouse for a while. a very long time, but the focus shifted to futures because the demand was there. There's a lot more people trading futures. It's much more accessible. Options are much more tricky. I've traded options for a very long time, so I have a certain skill set in trading them, specifically with momentum trading them. If you're trading, SPX will blow your account. I mean, there's people I've seen out there. There's some folks that tried trading SPX for a little bit and they think that they know what they're doing, and then a week later they've blown their account. And it's a terrible thing. I actually got that question when we were trading SPY a lot in Market Clubhouse. People were asking me, well, why don't you trade SPX? Well, because I don't want anybody that I'm teaching how to trade options. I don't want people blowing their accounts. And if you're teaching people to trade SPX, you're running them off a cliff. You're an absolute fool. I mean, if you're suggesting to people who have never traded options before to trade SPX, you are a fool and you have no idea what you're doing. And you've probably blown your account yourself by now. Options have PDT. They do not. They do not. You can trade them with a cash account. Gardner requires a 1 million account minimum deposit. Yeah, if you're trading SPX, it's a fast way to blow your account. It's a very fast way to blow your account. And you need to have years and years and years under your belt of trading options to be able to trade SPX. You can get very, very lucky, and that's often what tempts people into it because they see the large gains. You can make or lose $1 million in an hour easily with trading SPX. But futures, much more accessible. You have these great funding companies like Topstep where you don't have to put your own capital at risk. You come in, you pay a very low fee. They give you a combine to test your skills on. You're going to be able to learn how to trade futures through that. It's a very consistent market. Anybody who tells you otherwise has never traded futures before. They're a newbie trader, or they got lucky during COVID, or they're focused on small caps, or they're just a fool. Futures are going to be around forever. It's a very liquid market. It's very consistent. And it's something that, trust me, as a trader, you will learn so much from just trading futures that you can apply to other areas of your trading acumen. I mean, if you're wanting to trade small caps, large caps, options, trading futures will help you understand the market in a way that you can carry that skill set over into those other markets. SPX is the perfect magnet for provers. Yeah, I mean, it's because you could show really big gains on it. In the SPY we traded this year, did about $200,000 consistently throughout the year. But again, it's a very specific skill set that it requires to do that. And the barrier to entry is very high. And if you have somebody having an off day or they're not disciplined that day, they have the risk of blowing their account or going on tilt. And with futures, it's really hard to do that. And especially when you're trading with a funding company, it's just one of those things where it's like, you're going to lose the combine. That's, $49. It's not a big deal. You're going to stay in the game. How are your inefficiency and bullish areas calculated? We have a couple webinars about that in the Clubhouse, but I mean, it's too much for me to go into right now. But basically, I mean, the inefficiency here is just between these two candles here on the 15. Yeah, NQ is perking up. We didn't make it all the way through the inefficiency or touchdown in the order block. We do have about 8.5 minutes here until the party kicks off. How we doing on likes, by the way? Make sure you're hitting that like button. We're looking for 105 likes to trade into the open here. There's 130 in here and only 63 likes. So if we get to 105 likes by 9:15, we will be trading into the open here live on stream. But yeah, options, they don't have PDT. You can trade them with a cash account. So there's no pattern day trading rule. With futures, there is no pattern day trading rule either. And with Topstep, you can take as many trades as you want during the day, but obviously you're going to get eaten alive by fees. If you're doing that, you want to be measuring your trades out, really having specific areas for entries and exits. You want to be very concise in your entries with futures. Does the trailing stop at Apex always run, or does it stay at the account size of 50K, for example? No, it's garbage. It's terrible. It's in a interposition. If you're up in a position and you don't close it at its maximum, it starts counting against you. It's garbage. It's a carnival game. It's a good way to learn how to trade terribly. It teaches you all of the worst ways of how to trade. It's a carnival game within a game. Futures is hard enough to trade. Why do you need to have some other exterior thing that's trying to take you out of the game? I mean, it's awful. It's awful. If you're looking to trade futures, trade on Topstep. It's simple as that. So it's going to be interesting to see today on the FOMC minutes if they do say anything about rate cuts. I don't anticipate that at all. But if there is some verbiage in there at all about anything to do with rate cuts, it's very likely that we'll see the market rocking on that. Yesterday, we had a 20-year bond auction that the market ripped on because we had such a high participation rate in that. So that was really, really strong. We have that data coming out here in 6.5 minutes now. But yeah, the trailing stop at Apex, it always runs whether or not you're, if you have a position open, it's counting against you, and it's trying to teach you to close your position at its apex, which is like pretty much impossible to do all the time unless you're incredibly scalpy, and then being incredibly scalpy is just terrible to do when you're trading futures. Hadi, good morning. Wow, 1 million an hour. It takes 2 hours to do that on the NQ. I mean, if you love her up on the NQ, you can certainly make her lose $1 million in 10, 20 minutes if you wanted to, but you got to have a heck of a lot of leverage to be able to do that. I mean, SPX, there's certain days, depending on how much volatility there is and how much extension there is in the market, where you can put on a $20,000 position and within an hour it's worth, $2-3 million. But I mean, you have to be picking a very specific out of the money contract. And I mean, if you think about it, if the market maker is selling you a contract or a certain amount of contracts for $20,000, and then you're able to sell it back to the market makers for a couple $1 million, they're not pricing in that market movement, obviously. And it's pretty unlikely that the market's going to move as much as it does, but there's days when it happens. There's outlier days. Why is being scalpy terrible to do when trading futures? Well, the best futures traders are going to catch a portion of the move. They're going to catch a portion of the trend during the day. If you're in and out in futures, you're usually not realizing the larger areas of the moves. You're not an algorithm, you're not a computer, and you're going to be paying a whole mess of fees. It just really doesn't make sense. I mean, if you have years and years and years of experience under your belt, that's completely different. And you have to have years and years of scalping experience to be able to be good at it. But it's the hardest way to make money trading futures. You want to find areas of the market where you have really good entries. You have those entries work out to have a little bit of a piece of the trend of the day, and then you're cutting that position with a big chunk of that portion of that trend. That's the best way to be trading futures. Obviously, you're not going to get those setups every day, but if you're generally very scalpy in your trading, I mean, if you're having success doing it, by all means, keep leaning into it. But for the most part, newer traders tend to lean into scalping because they're scared to let winners run. They're scared to trust their own setups. And it's a bad trading habit. Trading on Apex, or these other funding companies, I'll say, trading on these other funding companies teach you those terrible habits. Does Topstep have discounted commissions fees for high volume trading? They do not. They do not. They have the same fees for all minis, for all micros. It's all the same. Dwayne calls it the SPASDAC. Don't forget, NVIDIA is going to drive the market today as we have earnings after hours. Yeah, NVIDIA is reporting after the bell today, so it will be interesting to see if NVIDIA can hold above 500. But yeah, if you're having success being scalpy in the markets, keep leaning into it. But you're going to rack up a whole mess of fees. There was somebody who was trading yesterday, and they ended up netting $200 in the market, but their overall gross day was like $600. They paid $400 in fees because they were so scalpy and overly scalpy, and they're paying $400 in fees and only taking home $200 net profit for them. Sounds like Rips is talking to me this morning. Yeah, honestly, I mean, if you're scalping and you're not having success doing it, the other thing is that you can look like you're being successful, and then you have like a trend day yesterday. If you're scalping all the way up towards the trend, it looks like you're being successful, but that's a trend that's going technically, straight up there. If you don't have a straight up trend and it has any kind of reversal during that period, you could scalp for an hour, and then with one single trade, it wipes out your entire hour of scalping. Now, that's not to say there's definitely people who are successful with scalping, but if you haven't been trading, I'd say you got to be trading for a minimum of 5 years to be profitable scalping. I mean, if you're hyper scalping, you're not going to get a discount like Ralph asked here. You're not going to get a discount on high volume trades, especially on Topstep. You may get one on another broker, but it's pretty unlikely that they're gonna give you that. Very unlikely. it's just a lot better to catch a piece of the trend during the day. And it's a lot more relaxing. It's a lot more stress-free to try to catch a piece of the trend. DK says, that's me, not a successful trader yet. Always get burned on shorts and tight stops. Well, take less size and have wider stops. Try to run a 40 to 60 tick stop on one single lot. Trade in the MNQ or MES first. What's the secret? The successful scalpers? I mean, it depends. You have to really have really solid reads on the market. You have to really know your instrument that you're trading. So if you've been trading the NQ for a while and you know how it functions and moves, and there's certain areas, like for instance, if we're at a certain psych level and you know that there's liquidity above and we're looking to pop stops above that level, there's a certain strategy where you can lever up where you're having a stop very, very tight below your entry. And then you're looking to just explore that quick pop to the top side and scalp that quick area. That's different. I mean, doing a quick entry like that and then you're kind of like done with that area, that's different versus maybe somebody who's scalping over and over and over repeatedly in a certain area and kind of, you know, maybe you're making a market or playing both sides of the market. There's a lot of different things. Yeah, Trader Mark says it, pattern recognition. But that comes through discretionary trading, and the only way that you can become a good discretionary trader is by hours and hours and hours of market exposure. All right, less than 30 seconds. Good luck, everybody. Got a whole swath of data coming out here. Good luck, good luck. Let's see if we can get any kind of trades here. 15 seconds. Canada's CPI in line with expectations, 0.1% versus 0.1%, 3.1% year over year, in line with expectations. So no surprise there. Philly Fed, negative 11 versus negative 20. Not a big surprise there. Chicago Fed National Activity Index, negative 0.49 versus a flat estimate. So a little bit of a perk in the market off that. But pretty much a nothing burger on that print. Otter says, already up 30 points, time to be wiped out by the news. Yeah, not quite. Very kind of soft print on that. Very low volume as well. Is it possible to predict movement before market opening? I mean, do you mean Globex opening or do you mean New York opening? Kind of a loaded question there. Sarah says, plus, I think most prop firms don't allow high volume trading. Yeah, if you're trying to run an algorithm or something, they say specifically in their terms of service that they don't allow high frequency trading algorithms. So, I mean, it's at their discretion, but they certainly don't want somebody who's, you know, hyper scalping. So basically a nothing burger on that print so far. How close are we? We're looking for 105 likes today. 105 likes. We are at 94. So yeah, 10 more, 11 more. We'll get there. See if you guys can do it. Yeah, total nothing burger on that print. I'd really like to see this now fade down to that bullish order block area. But we do have NVIDIA's kind of perking up a little bit. Amazon as well. Tesla's perking up a touch there. By scalping, what type of take profit are you referring to? Because as you know, different traders have different definitions of scalping for take profit. Yeah, it's all different. I mean, scalping, I'm generally saying that you're in the market for a limited period of time versus if you're trading for the trend, you have more exposure and time in the market there. Because I've seen traders refer to scalping by taking a TP at 100 ticks. I mean, that's a pretty big scalp there. 100 ticks is a big scalp. But again, I look at it as the amount of time and exposure that you have in the market. And if your positions are 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, that to me is scalping. You could use it trading the stars. It's all different. Everybody has different interpretations of what trading is, what it should be, all these certain other definitions of scalping. And, you know, everybody's different. I always say this on the stream here. There's no one right way to trade. There's no one right way to do this. If you have something that's working for you, I don't care how ugly your charts are. I don't care how silly your method is. If you have something that is consistently working, lean into it. Don't listen to what other people are saying. They're like, "Oh, your charts are ugly. It's terrible. It doesn't look right." If you're consistently profitable doing something, keep doing it. There's no one right way to do this. That's why I can't stand when people are sitting here and saying, "Oh, there's no edge in doing this. There's no edge in doing that." Well, if you have consistent profitability doing something, who are they to say that you have no edge? There's edge in something if you have consistent profitability. And if it's ugly charts when you're doing it, great. More power to you. Yeah, if you're making money, keep it up. It's simple as that, right? A lot of people are so concerned about what other people are thinking of how they're trading. Who cares? Are they in control of how much money you should be making? If you're making money doing what you're doing, keep doing it. Some people make fun of me for going long stocks. Yeah, it's just strange. I mean, you should be fluid. You should not be a short bias trader. You should not be a long bias trader. You should just be simply a trader. We're here to make money. You're not here to, I only go long, or I only go short, or I only do this, I only do that. You should be open and fluid to all different aspects of the market. You're a bad trader if you use indicators. Hey, if it works for you, if it helps you, if indicators help you, then by all means use indicators, right? Your bias should be determined by the market structure that day. Amen. That is very true. It's like yesterday. I mean, if you're trying to short the market yesterday, you should probably have your bias checked a little bit. Shouldn't be doing that on a big trend day like that. All right, we are sweeping lower here. Are you still in your position there, Otter? I'm curious. Yeah, we are sending a little bit lower. Let's see what's rolling over here. We got Microsoft rolling over to touch here. SPY's rolling over as well. Nice work there, Otter. Still no trades on our end here. So the next bit of news that we have is coming out here in 20 short minutes. Market is still rolling over here. I do want to see us encroach into this bullish order block below here. See if we can get on down into that 15-minute bullish order block. Still with one micro though, baby steps. Hey, better than no trade at all, right? So we're coming down to the low end of that inefficiency now. Morning, Caesar. Yeah, small trade is better than no trade at all. So a little bit of a bounce there. We do have 162 of you folks in here. Let's see if we hit the benchmark here. Oh, we did it. Congratulations. All right, we will stream into the open here. Congratulations, everybody. And remember, if we do get all the way up to 2,000 subs, I mean, if we could hit that by tomorrow, we'll do the giveaway tomorrow. I'm thinking it's probably going to be next week, though. If we get to 2,000 subs, we'll give away a Topstep combine here. GEX level is 454 on the SPY, and then looks like we have some negative gamma at 391, 389 in the Qs there. Very interesting. All right, I'm going to take a quick restroom break. I'll be right back here with you, folks. Alrighty, we're back. And now look at this. We are coming into that bullish order block now. So this is where things get interesting. See if we can get a position cooking here. I mean, things are rolling over. I want to see this kind of base out a little bit. So we have room down to 16,010. I'm going to put on a position here long. Put a stop here at 7 3/4. So putting on a lot long here as we are kind of slamming down here, trying to step in front of the freight train. We do have a stop at 7 3/4. Nice work there, Otter. 41 points to kick off the new combine. Nice work. So we're slamming through 15 here. Potentially looking at adding a second lot as we are coming down. So we're at the bottom of that order block now. Things are really getting heavy here. If we have any kind of bounce, then I'm probably going to add in a second lot, and we have our stop very tight here. Might get stopped out. Bit of a bounce here. Second lot on. Still heavy. Still very heavy here. Kind of want to move my stop just a little bit lower here. Things are really rolling over in tech. We are definitely standing in front of a freight train here. Seeing if we can hold these 10s. Kind of want to be at like 4 3/4, just in case we get a flash down. I'm going to put on a third lot here. A little bit riskier, but I want to see if we're holding these 10s. Still heavy. Let's see if we can clear up above 15 here. We do have room up to 20. Just watching the tape here. I'm going to add into that. We were perking up towards 15 now. We do have room up to 20. Big seller there at 17. Don't like that guy at 17. Seeing if we hold this 14, 15 area. We are still holding 15, but I want to get through this seller at 17 now. Watching this guy at 17 again. We have a 50 lot now at 13. See if we snatch that up or not. We bought that, so I'm going to add full size here. Still wrestling at 14. Bidder stepping up at 8, but we need to reclaim 15 here. Market's still a little bit soft, but if we can just retake that 15 level, we should have a straight shot right to 20. We do have that print out in about 5 minutes here, so we have to be wary of that. The Redbook retail sales. Yeah, I see that there's a news about Japan and a potential nuke coming in hot. North Korean missile threat. So that's not really great for the markets here either. But let's see if we can bottom out and start pushing back towards 15 here. Yep, some nuclear threat right now is the latest squawk here. All right, I got to cover some of that there into that flush. We had a dip down rate to 5 there, almost hit our stop. I covered 5 lots into that flush there. Not looking so hot. Looks like we might end up getting stopped out here. We're looking to reclaim 15. That'll give us a pretty straight shot up to 20 here, if we can get the strength to bounce. Eights are still holding. Looking to push back into the 10s here. Okay, Redbook retail sales out in 3 minutes here. Apple is pushing up a little bit. And at 10, stop at 14, tighter than yoga pants. That is a pretty tight stop. I'm covering 5 more there. See if we can run this back up a little bit here. And I'm going to get stopped out right there. So taking a loss on that one. We tried to get that bullish order block, ended up failing that one. Went full size there up towards 15, looking for that pull through 20. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. And that is just going to be trading sometimes, where some days you just have it not work out in your favor. So let's see if we get this next setup here outside of the Redbook retail sales. It's out in less than 2 minutes here. And the pants ripped. Yeah, so we had a squawk coming out. Japan government tells residents to take cover from North Korea missile threat, according to Japanese alert broadcasting system. That came out right when we're in this bullish order block, and not great timing for that. Market tends to sell off on news like that. And now we're getting this magnificent bounce there after we just got stopped out, unfortunately. Bounce right back up to 10. Right back up towards 15. Unfortunate on our timing for this one, but just the way it's going to play out sometimes. So let's see if we can get scaled into this here. Pre-print, we have less than a minute to go here. I'm going to take that long again. Switch over into my other account here. There we go. So playing the same trade here, using this bullish order block to guide our trades, even though we rejected below it, we still could find strength here. Again, we're looking up through 15 to get that straight shot up through 20, get back up into the inefficiency there to the top side. That is unfortunate, the timing of this, that we got stopped out right there at the low of our position. And then we got that bounce that we're looking for this whole time. Risky trades. It depends on how thick liquidity is in an area, whether or not there is divergence between delta and price action. But generally, yes, thick liquidity acts as a price discovery magnet. That is true. Okay, Redbook retail sales are out. 3.2%. They are up. So Redbook retail sales are up. Strong consumers still. So that is not the best for inflation data right now. Tesla's rolling over, Nvidia's rolling over, Amazon too. I would think that Amazon would perk a little bit on those Redbook retail sales. We have our stop below 16,000 here. If we do start to show some strength out of this order block, I will aggressively add into this. Again, we're targeting above 20 here. There is some liquidity above 20 that we are watching. You can see it right above my head on that book map there. That is the liquidity that we are tracking. I'm going to add into the position here. Looking for this perk back up through 15. Thoughts on Apple today? As long as it's holding these 190s, then it should find its way to 192 today. That would be my expectation on Apple. Adding into that again. I want to see that we're holding 9.5 here. There's some liquidity that keeps going up on the ask that is kind of spooking these orders right now. Watching this 9.5 area here. This is the lower end of the order block. Good morning, Aglow. How we doing out there? So we have some liquidity that keep flashing up at 11 and 12. Watching how that's being received. Amazon's still a little bit heavy here. They're putting that liquidity back up at 9.5. Use your discount code for Bookmap. Love that. Thank you. Awesome. So yeah, 20% off there. Very nice there, Papa Bull. Is there a time frame you typically would like to see the move out of the order block? I mean, we have unlimited time. As long as we're kind of holding this area, the longer that we're holding this area, the stronger this position is going to be. I'm just watching where they're layering liquidity here. Like they have a 50 lot that's up here. I want to see how fast we're swiping that, if at all. Right now, we're just still showing that weakness here towards the lower end of the order block. I want to see strength kind of show up pre-16,000 flush. Yeah, they're chasing this down. They keep on moving this 50 block down, but nobody's taking it. So I want to see if we can actually swipe at liquidity with violence at all. Time for a bathroom break. It always rallies when you do that. Isn't that the truth? Yeah, they are spoofing orders to move the price down, but I want to see at the level at which they're taking those orders. Generally, it is spoofing, but when they actually tag those orders, that's when I get interested. Okay, adding two more here. Seeing if we make a higher low here. We're going to get that top of the hour liquidity injection here in 40 seconds. So let's see if we get a higher low out of this area. We need to get back above 9. Does the past combine expire at some point? You have 30 days to use that combine. You can have as many past combines waiting in the wings as you want. So you could have a whole mess of past combines if you'd like. Seeing if we can retake the 9s here. We are now 30 minutes from the open. SPY is still a little bit weak. Amazon is firming up a touch here. Nvidia rolling over, testing 500. Big flush there. Testing the 16,000 level. Big seller coming in. Big seller there. Seeing if 16,000 will hold. So bouncing at that 16,000 level. Seeing if we can get back above 5 here. Okay, re-encroaching up on that 5 where we found that seller. Let's see if we can get back above 5 here. SPY is still tremendously heavy here. Seeing some big bidders firming up though. Let's see if we can get back above 5. Very tight range here. Do want to see the auction just conveniently get right back above 5 for us. Some big bidders showing up there at 16,002. Some hidden sellers there on 5. Looking for us to encroach above 5 here. Still holding that 2 level right now. We have a 105 bidder there. 105 lot bid. Seeing if we can get back over this 5 though. This 5 is the area that we need to get back above with some strength. Looking at tech, seeing if we're having any of these names bouncing at all. Microsoft is turning up a little bit. So just seeing if we can get that encroachment back over 5 and get enough time for us to have some time before the market opens to be auctioning above that 5 level towards the 9. Just watching the price action here. As slow as it is. Very low liquidity as well. We got 25 minutes till the market opens here. Still a big seller there at 4.5 and 5. Big hidden seller there. Okay, back above 5 here. Let's see if we can get back up to 9 now. Little mini squeeze, micro squeeze up there up to 7. Some sellers at 7. We're seeing bounces out of NVIDIA here. NVIDIA is trading 500 even. Tesla, a little bit of a bounce as well. SPY is firming up a little bit here. Microsoft, a little bit slow, but it is bouncing. Let's see if we can get back above 10 here. We have 9 to get through. There we go, right to 10. So we are again looking for this encroachment above 15, which would invite 20. So we're getting a nice little squeeze here to the top side. Morning, Brent. So we had a little micro squeeze up there above 10, and now we're getting a little bit of pullback. Amazon is kind of still pretty weak here. We need to see NVIDIA holding 500. Yeah, still a little bit weak here, unfortunately. We had that pull up to 10 on very sparse liquidity, but then just a touch of a pullback below. So we're looking for that strength above 10, touching that 15, which would invite that squeeze up towards 20 where the VWAP, just a touch below the VWAP there. They are letting this run a little bit into the 10s here. Seeing if we have sellers above. Some more bids coming up, but they're spoofing it. Nothing real about those bids right now. Looking to get through 15 here now. We are pushing up. Testing that 15, quick rejection into that 15, but we are seeing tech starting to shape up here. So if we can get through these asks above 15, this will start to pretty confidently, violently squeeze here if we get above 15. We do have to see that 15 encroachment though. Apple is kind of bouncing nicely here. NVIDIA is showing some strength. Testing this 15 area now for the second time. Seeing if we have the strength to push through. Some resistance at 15. There are some sellers capping off there. As expected, it is a psychological level. Through 15, let's see if we get the squeeze now through 20. Some asks there at 17. Some people layering up on the ask there, now looking for this 20. Peeling off some at the 20s there. I see there are some asks that are dissipating at the 20s, which is a good sign. Just want to make sure that they're not capping off early now at the 18s. We do have 20 minutes now until the open. Big liquidity here at 17. A lot of sellers at 17, kind of anticipating that 20 push. So if we don't get a harsh rejection at 20, I am confident in continuing to hold this. But we are reaching the upper ends of this volume profile here. Some sellers anticipating that push to 20. Let's see if we get through 20 with violence. There's that 20 push. A lot of players on 20. We need to see violence through 20 here. Aggressive violence through 20. Some aggressive sellers. See if the buyers can hold this intact. We do need to see that second test coming through rather quickly here. So we came up, we tapped 20. Instant rejection back down to 15 here. The sooner we retest 20, the more likely it is we'll blow through that level. So just trying to watch our pacing here. We are holding 15s. We do need to see bidders kind of firm up that 15 level here. We may not have the liquidity pre-open. A lot of sell side coming in. Yeah, we did break structure, but we needed to hold that. That 20 is a big psych level there. See if we reclaim 15. If you're enjoying the stream, by the way, make sure you're slamming that thumbs up button. Make sure you are subscribed with notifications turned on. Yeah, big rejection there off those 20s. So sweep of liquidity there to the top side. Instant rejection at the 20s. Coming down now below the 15s. We do want to see the price action reclaim that 15 here. So bouncing up towards 15. Let's see if they start capping this off again or if we can get squeezing through. Back up at 15. Do we have buyers back on the tape here at 15? Decent amount of liquidity pushes through 15 here. But we need to see that follow through. We're at the top of this volume profile here, so it is a little bit risky here up at this area, but we would squeeze if we get that confident pull through 20. Now keep in mind, we are going to have a liquidity injection here at the quarter of the hour, so in about a minute. Got to be watching for that liquidity injection. Meta is shaping up. Microsoft curling up a little bit. Amazon is the weakest one of the bunch. Google just trying to kind of skirt sideways here. Yeah, 1 minute is hard to trust. You definitely do need confluence on the higher time frames. That's for sure. So let's see if this order block can give us the trade that we're looking for here. We are trying to fight up out of this 15 level for now. Liquidity should be coming in 5 seconds here. So let's see if we can hold confidently above 15. Apple is still pushing to the top side here. There are some players looking to sell 15s. We do have to have the liquidity to break through them. Let's see. In the way of news, do we have any speakers today? There are no speakers. The next news out is going to be the existing home sales at 10 a.m. Still some big sell side activity coming here. We do need to confidently reclaim 15 for this to work. How do I know about the liquidity? I'm watching it here on the book map. You can see that right above my head. That is the book map that I'm watching. Also watching the time and sales. And looking at the components here of the NAS 100. So watching here again for this 15 encroachment, we need to see Apple remaining strong here. So Japan just lifted that emergency broadcast message about the potential nuclear missile coming in. So that's good news. Missile has passed over Japan, so it's heading for California. I'm kidding. So we're still weak below 15. It's not ideal. It's not what I want to see. Do I have a tutorial book map? I do have a webinar on my in Clubhouse. We do have a webinar about it. So we're at the midpoint of this volume shelf here. We do need to see this encroach back above 15 with some strength. We are seeing a red candle here out of Apple starting to form. Same with Microsoft and Meta. But NVIDIA is still very strong here. Good morning, Peter. Still holding these 10s, looking for us to get punched up back into these 15s here. It should be thin up towards 15, but 15 does have some sellers sitting up on the ask there. Wow, that must be scary as heck. Crazy person testing a nuclear missile over your head, praying that lunatic won't actually hit you. Yeah, it's scary, right? Scary, scary stuff. Yeah, we are showing a touch of weakness here. It isn't auctioning at the 10s yet, but it's looking like it wants to get down there to the 10s. There's a seller through the 10s there. They are retesting those 10s, seeing if we can get the strength to get above that. We should have some liquidity coming in here in the next minute. All out break even at 9. Nice trade there. Break even's good. Yeah, Apple's starting to roll over a little bit here. I might exit half the position and just wait for the open. Now we're wrestling with 10s here. See if we get that push back up towards 15. Yeah, again, very weak, pushing into those 10s. Not a lot of buy side activity. I'm going to cover half the position right there. I might just go flat pre-open. So unfortunately, we got very harsh rejection there at 20. Okay, there's that liquidity coming in at 10 till the open. Pushing back up towards that 15. Big G-Ski asked, will you try to lower your position before the open? Yep, that's what we just did. Just covered half the position there because we are going to have some volatility here off the open. I'm going to cover right there. So going flat, waiting for the open now. I want to see if we can get a setup going into the open. If we do have strength right out of the open here, I'm probably going to take that long since we are kind of in this order block here. If we do have a flush below 16,000, we do actually have a lot of room down here, looking down towards 970. We do have some room down towards 970 there. So potentially have a chance to make a nice 30-point scalp here off the open if we are quick enough. I'd be looking for a 16,000 bounce up towards 27. If we're breaking hard above 20, chances that we can run above 27 even to 50 there. So those are the things that we'll be watching here off the open. Open is in 8 minutes here, 8 minutes. And again, if you are enjoying the stream, make sure you are hitting that thumbs up button. And you do have your subscriptions with your notifications turned on so you can be notified anytime that we are going live here. We are anticipating this open. We are holding this area down here. We are holding this. So the longer that we're holding down here, the more likely it is that we should have an open squeeze. But how far does the open squeeze go? Is it just kind of a weak bounce to squeeze out these shorts from around 75 or so? That's what we want to be judging here off the open. If we get a nice look, then we'll definitely be barreling into it. And keep in mind, we don't have any news out until 10 a.m. So we have the existing home sales coming out at 10. But right now, the market is just kind of shuffling in this zone here. Do you think holidays like Thanksgiving affects the market's direction? Understand be low volume, but do they try to reach certain levels? No, not necessarily. It's more about the structure, the market structure. Yeah, let's do the poll right now while we're waiting. NQ ends the day up or down. Let's do up, down, and then unchanged. There we go. There's our poll. Let's see what you guys think. Yeah, 20, I mean, 20 is kind of the line in the sand for me right now. That's what I want to see is a push above 20. If we have a strong push above 20, there's a good chance that we will just kind of rip and rally today. We are pushing back up here towards that 15 level. We do have 6 minutes now until the market opens. 6 minutes. So NVIDIA is strong here. Amazon is finally bottoming out. Google's just skirting sideways. Microsoft did reclaim 375 here. Meta is a little bit weak. Tesla as well. So do we have a rebound into the open here? That is the question. Someone is just selling any small bounces. Yeah, there's some heavy sellers that are overhead right now, and if we get above those people, we will have a squeeze. I just think that they're kind of holding this down before the open. So we'll have to see how this unfurls, how this plays out here. Yeah, tremendous sellers are coming in here. Apple is rolling over a touch. Amazon's super weak. So, I mean, there are some sellers. If we are breaking below 16,000, we do have room, like I said, down there to 70. Remember, we do have NVIDIA reporting after the bell today. So we could have a run up in NVIDIA, but we do need to see. Amazon's just off a cliff here. I don't know what's going on with Amazon. I don't have any squawk about this, but yeah, Amazon has been a thorn in my side this morning. I mean, Best Buy did report this morning, so I'm guessing that's what they're saying on the Best Buy call is causing that. So Amazon just cratering here. My goodness. Definitely what was adding some pressure to the NQ here. So we might not get that confluence that we're looking for across the board. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if we get a nice open here or not. Crazy how Amazon is just cratering here. All right, 3.5 minutes here till the market's open. Make sure you have taken those bathroom breaks. Make sure you are ready to go here. Tesla's super weak. NVIDIA a little bit stronger here. Apple weak. Meta just kind of a little bit of a bounce. Microsoft a little bit strong. Let's see if we hold these lows, however. We did get that big interest there at 16,000. So if we flush below that 16,000 and we don't see that interest show up, then it could be curtains for the NQ. We could be skating all the way down there towards somewhere between 940 and 970. We could see a big flush down to that level there. But we're watching. We are accumulating down here. So as long as 16,000 is holding, that's where things get interesting. All right, 2.5 minutes here. 2.5 minutes till the open. Amazon, a little bit of a bounce there. Best Buy is doing their earnings call right now. So a little perk up. 2 minutes to go. 2-minute drill. 2-minute warning. This could be some short covering or some buyers positioning for today's trade. Apple showing some strength. We got 90 seconds here, folks. 90 seconds. Make sure you are calm, cool, and collected. Make sure you are ready to go, ready to trade. Let's see how the market shakes out today. Less than a minute now, folks. Less than a minute. Make sure you hit that lucky like button. Smash that lucky like button. Good luck, everybody. Let's crush it today. $30 seconds now. 30 seconds. Apple is perking up here tremendously. 10 seconds. Good luck, everybody. Markets are open here. A little bit of a flush here. We are waffling around. Some heavy sell side. There's through 16,000. Let's see if we hold 16,000. Little perk back up here. Tesla's rolling pretty hard here. See if we reject 16,000 or not. I'm going to take that short. Market is rolling pretty hard. We're targeting 70.5 to the downside here. We are holding these 80s. I want to see us break below these 80s now. Very low liquidity here. Very interesting how low this liquidity is. Not a lot of big players are hitting this right now. We're targeting that flush through the 80s. Very volatile here. Some players stepping up in the 90s. I got a cover here. So ended up not getting that flush that we wanted. Very volatile, very whippy there. We had that holding the 80s. My platform is very slow here too. So didn't cover that into the 80s there. Was looking for that flush into the 70s. Got a big pop back up there. Conveniently covered me at the top of that wick. I don't know why, but it looks like Rhythmic is extremely slow here. It's like I'm not getting the whole picture of the market. It does look, the orders that are going into the market here, they just look very, very thin. It looks very laggy to me for some reason. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing the same thing that I'm seeing here. It just looks extremely laggy. So we are pushing back above that 16,000 here. Tesla off to the races. News hit Amazon. It was just the earnings call from Best Buy. That's what was causing that. We are still holding above 16,000 here. Amazon's bouncing. Nvidia is ripping a little bit here. So watching this come back down towards 16,000 flat. This may just be a dip and a rip today. I'm going to take that long. Again, we're looking for this to clear over 15. encroach into 20. Little struggle here at 10. And stopped out there. So unfortunately, on wrong sides of the market today, we had that flush correct, but we didn't close there at the 80s. So unfortunately, that's going to stop me out on that. Just watching here to see if there's any follow-up opportunity for me here. Market is holding this this 8 and 10 area. Looking at potentially taking this long again. Tesla's off to the races. Microsoft is kind of tight and constrained here. Tesla perking up very, very strong. Yeah, it was very weird there off the open. It almost looked like I wasn't getting the full picture of the market. The way that thing sold off there, it just kind of started lagging on my end. And there's no excuse, obviously, should have looked to close that position there at the 80s, but it was just weird because it just seemed like I was missing 80% of the orders that are hitting the market. So I don't know if Rhythmic was lagging or what was going on. All right, we are testing the 16,000 level again. Coming back down a little bit. Amazon weak. Meta is holding up here. Nvidia is holding up as well. Google is perky. I'm going to try a long here again, since we are holding above 16,000. Watching here to see if we reclaim 16,000 or not. Kind of testing it with some weakness here. I want to see strength above 16,000. Rhythmic is crap right now. So, okay, so it's not just me. Yeah, something's up with Rhythmic. Adding in a third lot here. See if we can get this breakout above 15 now. Nice push skyward there. Some overhead supply. We do need to see that getting busted through. So we want to see a breakout above 15. Encroaching above the 20s. Tesla's off to the races here. Nvidia as well, very, very strong. So if Apple can bounce here, we should see this thing really start to rip. So there it is above 15. We did pop some stops. Now we want to see this working above 20 here. Took me out of the trade while chart showing way positive. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, when I closed that position on that other account, it lagged super hard and then took me out of the top of the wick, which is terrible. So here we are back at 20. We do need to see strength above 20 here. Watching for this to squeeze above 20. It is rejecting 20 again, though. Seeing a bounce from Amazon. Same story that we saw in the pre-market there. Same exact story. We came right up to 20 and a big harsh rejection there. We're holding above 16, however. Very choppy price action here. Very, very choppy price action. If we do break above 20, this thing will get very violent to the top side. This 15-minute bar, though, is insane on the NQ. I'm just trying to be patient here. Above 20 gets super squeezy. We have so much overhead supply on 20. But yeah, this is very, very choppy price action here. Looking for this encroachment above 15 once more. Tesla's off to the races. Tesla's going crazy here. Microsoft starting to perk up some. There's 15. Let's see if we can get this strong above 15 again. Looking for this to whip hard above 20 now. Bottom is Combine, top two are XFA. Grateful to grab this trade in tough action. I want to keep holding, but got itchy. Nice work there, Big Mac. Looks like he's up about 1,100 bucks there. Very nice. Yeah, this is not great price action here. I'm trying to be patient and hold through this, but it's extremely difficult here. Very, very choppy. Tesla's super strong, and NVIDIA, now it's coming back a little bit. If Microsoft can start to perk up here, we would see this encroachment back above 15 or so. And we are just kind of painting around this 10 area, which is where most of the volume profile is. This is also where the point of control is. So if we're strong above 15, this thing would really start to rocket as long as we are touching into that 20. That 20 would really invite a squeeze here. So that's what I'm kind of holding out for. The volume is drying up a touch here. We're just kind of holding right around the point of control. Seeing a little strength coming in here. Okay, 15 test again. We do kind of run out of steam as we touch that 15 area. Tesla's just crazy strong here, though. Can Tesla carry the NQ? Microsoft is turning up a little bit here. Yeah, it is kind of, triple topped in this zone, but if we blow out above 20, this thing will go crazy like a bottle rocket here. So the longer we're holding around 15, the better. We want to be away from this 10 area. Yeah, we need Apple to bounce. Apple's coming down hard now. That will bring the SPY down with it. And it will get people sell side here. Back to the point of control. All right, getting some low side liquidity here. Amazon, a little bit of a bounce. Meta is shaping up. Microsoft too. Google is bouncing a little bit here. We are still holding above 16,000. We are again flirting with that 15 level. Little bounce there from Apple. If we get through 15, this thing will get speedy. That's what we're watching for here. Right now, very choppy and consolidating in this zone. Yeah, looking a little heavy here. Quarter of the hour liquidity coming in. See, now Rhythmic is looking a little bit faster now. It's like we were missing a big player in the NQ here. A big liquidity provider. That's what I think was going on. Somebody didn't turn on their machine for the first 15 minutes of trade. That's why I was very confused about the price action there. And they are sell side, if you were curious. And we got stopped out there. They were sell side. If anybody was curious which side that liquidity provider was on, they were sell side. All right, let's see if we can get a little bit of a bounce here. I mean, that looked like a sweep to the downside for stops. Watching to see if we reclaim this 16,000 now. Yeah, this chop, I mean, if you look at these 15-minute candles, this is crazy slop here. Anyone else having trouble closing their trades? Yeah, I had a little bit. I had a little bit of lag, but, you know, no problem now. We are still auctioning a lower here. And things are getting a little bit heavy. Let's see how we interact with 16,000 here. Might try to take this short. I will try a short here. I'm going to put my stop just above 16,000. So let's see if we can follow this trend to the downside here. If we actually sweep below 80, and then we can encroach on those 70s at the original target that we're looking for. Our stop's at 16,004. I don't know why that's not shown over here. 1 second. There we go. Apple's still looking a little bit heavy as long as we're holding below 16,000 here. Although we might get a sweep right up through 16,000, it might tag our stop loss. So that's what we have to be watching out for here. Tesla's still strong. NVIDIA is rolling over now. Some heaviness coming in. SPY is rolling over a touch now. Microsoft showing some red. So let's see if we can get the driver's seat here back below 90. Big bidder on 90. We just swept through him. Want to see continuation below 90. Nice follow through to the downside here. It looks like that liquidity provider is gone again. I mean, I'm getting very, very slow prints here in the in rhythmic and on time and sales. All right, so let's see if we can make a lower low here. NVIDIA coming down tremendously hard. But we are seeing a bounce out of Apple. SPY is still rolling over here. So I'm pretty confident in this. Tesla's coming back down. Google is starting to roll over, showing some red candles here. Just need to see weakness below 90s now. A little bit of heaviness, but we do have a lot of bids that are stacked there down through the 80s, but I do believe that we can make a lower low here and start skirting down through the 70s and targeting perhaps the low 70s for our profit target on at least one of these lots here. Or we could just go right back up through 16,000 and just chop around. Complete opposite of what we saw yesterday. Yesterday was a very clean trade, whereas today, extremely, extremely choppy. A lot of difference in opinion on which way we should go here. A lot of disagreement between buyers and sellers. We do have our stop up here at 16,004. Very good chance that if it did breach through 16,000, that would get wicked out pretty quickly there. So we did make a lower high there on that last excursion to the top side. But we do need to get back down below the 90s for this to make sense. Apple is kind of bottoming out here. Meta is showing some perk. Amazon's still weak. SPY is rolling over still. Can we get this to fail below the 90s again? Very low liquidity too. That's what's making this very troublesome to get down. We had a big seller step in, a lot of volume coming in, and then they just disappeared. So a big sell side program coming in, and then kind of just back to this lower liquidity environment. So back up through 16,000. Good chance we get stopped out here. Very wicked. I mean, look at the 15-minute bar chart here on TradingView. Look at this. Look at these 15-minute bars. This is insane. This is terrible, terrible price action here to be trading, unfortunately. So we got stopped out there. Now judging whether or not I want to continue trading. I guess we could have ran our stop a little bit higher there. Probably above VWAP would have been the hot ticket. Watching this here, Apple is perking up a little bit. Let's take some break. Well, we're going to see if there's a setup here. We're going to see if this is weak below 16,000, I will end up tagging this again short for one last attempt here. All right, short once more. I'm going to bring my stop to 16,008, which is above the VWAP. Because we have Apple running the VWAP here, there's a good chance that we can that could be a lower high that we are forming there under the VWAP. And then we would start to skitter on lower here. Appreciate all the likes on the videos, guys. Appreciate that if you are subscribed to the channel with your notifications turned on. It means the world to me. We are trying to hit 2,000 subs here on the channel. When we get to 2,000, we are giving away a Topstep Combine. So you can trade like me, where I don't have to risk any of my own capital, even though we're losing today. I didn't have to put up any of my own money to lose any of this money. I had to pay for a lifetime fee for these XFA accounts, but it was $150 per account. So I didn't actually have to risk thousands of dollars in these losses, which is great. Makes it a lot easier to take these losses and stomach these trades. And I have equity in all of these accounts that I'm trading, so I don't actually lose any of the accounts either. All I'm losing is potential profits that I could have withdrawn, but I didn't have to put up any of my own capital to have that cash in the account. My stop here, right there at 16,008 and a quarter. So it's just a touch above the VWAP. So we are looking for this stronger flush now to the downside. We are seeing NVIDIA coming down towards 500 here. But yeah, lower liquidity. Very, very low liquidity. It was crazy. We saw that one player come in at the quarter of the hour, big liquidity injection into the markets, and then they just skittered on away. They took a break almost immediately, and now we're back to this there's not a lot of algorithms hitting this market. So it makes me wonder what's going to be happening for tomorrow's trade as well, if we are going to have any kind of volatility in the markets to trade. So TBD, we'll have to figure that out tomorrow and see if there's going to be an advantageous trade. This is just one of the worst openings that I've seen in a very long time. If you compare it to the last few openings that we've had, I mean, I guess we're due, but I didn't think that we'd have this much disagreement in price. We basically just chopped up and down this entire time here. We went straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up. So it's just been very, very choppy. We might get stopped out here. We are seeing green candles across a lot of these names here. And we are stopped out. So that's probably going to be it for me. I'm probably going to stop trading here. I feel like I'm out of sync with the market. We did take a pretty hefty loss today across all of our accounts here. We are down $8,300 here, and that is across 3 Topstep XFA accounts. Now, keep in mind, I didn't have to risk any of my own capital for any of this. I'll show you guys right here what this looks like. So that is across 3 Topstep accounts, 2,100 in one, 3,001, and 3,000 in the other. And that is not risking any of my own capital. So I did not have to put up any of my own money to take any of those trades, which is the benefit, of course, of trading on Topstep. Now, you might ask, well, why would I ever want to trade with my own money? That's a great question, because if you're trading with your own money, that's $8,000 that you wouldn't ever see again. If you're trading on Topstep, then guess what? you don't have to, you don't owe them any of that money. That's just money that is taken out of your XFA account. That's not money that you had to put up in the first place. Those are profits that I've generated over the last few trading sessions. So that's no risk to me. And this is why I highly recommend trading on Topstep. There's a link in the description right down below. Each of those accounts, those 3 accounts that you saw, I only paid $149 for each of those accounts. So I've paid a total of $450 for those 3 accounts. And that allowed me to risk essentially $9,000 in the market today. And I didn't have to put up any of my own capital for that. So yeah, it's going to be a lost day today. It's going to happen. We're going to have losing days. It's just unfortunate that we had a really choppy session. We did have a couple positions where in the pre-market, we were up $1,000 there and we didn't take it. And then in the open there, we were up $2,000, but we didn't take it. And unfortunately, we didn't move our stops. So, we aren't going to realize any of that profit there. So it is unfortunate, but it's the way it goes sometimes. This is the reality of trading. We are going to have losing days like this from time to time. You're never going to have 100% winning days. It's how you conduct yourself through these days that test your true ability as a trader. So keep your wits about you. Right now, I know it's my time to stop trading because I'm just not getting this market right now. It's very choppy. I mean, look at the book map here. This is what we're dealing with here. It's extremely, extremely choppy. We got that beautiful flush to the downside where we were short. We're up about $2,000 there. We didn't realize it. Shot right back up, stopped us out, came down, came right back up, came down, came up, now coming back down again. This is not an ideal session to be trading right now. So even though I've lost $8,300 today, it's not my own money. So that's the best part about, like I said, trading on Topstep. Again, folks, if you're feeling out of sync with the market, the best thing that you could possibly do is just stop trading. And that's what I'm going to do today. So I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow at 8 a.m. here on YouTube. You folks here in Discord, I'll catch you guys in a minute. Don't go anywhere. And that's my stream for today. I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow at 8 a.m. Take care, everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow.